Michaela Vernava for NESN.com and joined by Boston Bruins CEO Charlie Jacobs. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
We're here at the BU Sports Communication Summit talking about passion for sports in Boston and its future. Why is it so important for you to come out and do something like this?
Well, like you said, there's a lot of passion around sport in this area. Thank goodness. We all benefit from that. This is a great forum because it's organized by you. There's a lot of students here. We had a couple of club owners and some really great personnel from both the Celtics and the Patriots. So this is a very good roundtable discussion. Really just about everything from player safety to how are we growing our game to social media and the like. So changing platforms, how do we consume it? We've got NESN.com here as well as traditional linear television, if you will. So we talked a lot about very interesting subjects. I think that I hope the students in the audience had something to take away from.
Well, you started out talking about the passion for sports here in Boston and how unique it is and how closely intertwined all four professional sports in Boston are. Do you see a rise or fall in fan engagement with the Bruins when the Patriots, Red Sox, or Celtics, depending on their performances?
You know, people often ask me that, and I say, listen, they're not mutually exclusive. People can be a Red Sox fan and a Boston Bruins fan and support the Patriots and the Celtics and vice versa, all different machinations. We have our avid following, so it's what I would call hardcore fans, that no matter what we're up to are going to be interested, whether the Patriots are playing or not, they're going to be watching Bruins content. And I would say that's not unique to hockey. It's probably, you find the same in all sports. So, yeah, so to a certain extent, are we fighting over eyeballs and impressions? Perhaps, but we've got very good rapport between all ownership groups and management groups, and it's a wonderful environment to be in.
One of the major things that you talked about that's really affecting the future of sports is social media, and you talked about the new Wi-Fi at TD Garden, how that facilitates fan interaction. And Tom Warner talked about the difference between NBA star power on Twitter, Instagram, compared to it being less so for baseball players. Do you think hockey players need to bolster their presence on social media?
You know, that's a really good question. I think that we have made an effort as an organization to promote our identity online and social media, with Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Oh, wow, Snapchat, with these different channels that sort of pop up and really grab hold of a certain generation. I have 3 teenagers in my house that just Snapchat. Instagram, some of those are obsolete to them, those other platforms that I just referred to. So it's a challenge to always stay ahead of it. We have a director of social media at our building and our club that just works and focuses on these really unique channels. And I like to think, though, in hockey in particular, when you talk about a player, we really like to focus on the front of the jersey rather than the name on the back. So if a player prefers to and wants to take charge of their online social presence, we have some guidelines that we suggest for them, but we have them let them have at it, so to speak.
Well, as for the future of the actual game of hockey, you talked about some of the technology that may be coming, cameras on the blue line, chips in pucks to tell if they went over the goal line or not. Will this affect the length of games, do you think?
This is a really hot topic in baseball. As you know, Tom, when he was interviewing to be perhaps the next commissioner, it was one of his topics, was the speed of play. And the speed of play has shown to be longer this season with the coach's challenge and the timeouts that have been required to review. I do think this will change as we implement this new technology, the added cameras, possibly the chip. I think that those were on their way, and I do expect the games to get back to sort of that 2:15 to 2:30 mark. When I say 2:15, 2 hours and 15 minutes to 2 hours and a half.
Lastly, another really important thing you touched on is player safety, and you said you envision some protocol changes coming in the future. And as Andre Kramer pointed out, your players are part of your business. Do you think that these new protocols will affect business at all in the future as things evolve?
Well, when I say I expect, I think it's always an iterative process about standards. And so player safety standards have changed as the game has changed. And I don't particularly have anything that I envision happening next year other than, as I say, the process is always iterative. It's like a strategic plan. You can't write a book and put it on a shelf and then come revisit 2 or 3 years. It's something that you constantly read and edit and revise. And the same comes when it comes to the health and welfare of our players. It's something you always monitor. And if there's something that you can do to change for the better, you will always make that choice.
Now, Tom Warner says that he won in that fight that you guys had when you dropped the gloves in the ice
I
at
wasn't
Fenway Park.
expecting
Were
the
you
fist
going
to be
easy on him?
thrown. I certainly wasn't expecting fists to be thrown. Let me put it that way. But hey, listen, that's how we're going to play. That's how we're going to play.
Charlie Jacobs, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.